There is a certain kind of person we all have in our lives. The one who never says no. The one you can call anytime, ask anything, and somehow they'll still say yes. And we usually call them nice, helpful, reliable, but we rarely stop and think what it must feel like to always be that person. I once knew someone like that. Her name was Meera, and if you met her, you would probably like her instantly. She was calm, polite, always smiling, the kind of person who made everything easy for everyone else. The kind of person who would say, "It's okay, I'll manage." And honestly, she did manage for everyone. At first, it didn't look like a problem at all. In fact, it looked like a beautiful quality. If a friend needed help, she helped. If someone asked for a favor, she agreed. If plans changed, she adjusted. People trusted her. They depended on her. And slowly, without anyone really noticing, this became her identity. Ask Meera, she'll say yes. Meera will handle it. Meera won't mind. And she didn't. At least, that's what it looked like. But here is something no one really saw. There are many moments when she did mind, moments when she was tired, when her day was already full, when she just wanted to be left alone for a while. But even in those moments, she smiled and said, "Okay," because saying no felt uncomfortable to her. It felt rude. It felt like she would disappoint someone. And somewhere inside, she had started believing that disappointing others was worse than ignoring herself. So she kept saying yes, not once, not twice, but again and again until it became automatic. Now imagine this with me. You've had a really long day. You're already exhausted. All you want is a little silence, maybe just to sit and do nothing. And suddenly your phone rings. Someone needs your help. You know you don't have the energy. You want to say no, but instead you hear yourself saying, "Yeah, sure." That was Meera. Almost every day. And slowly, something started changing. Not outside. Everything outside looked normal, but inside, she started feeling a kind of tiredness that rest couldn't fix. There were nights when she sat alone and thought, "Why am I always the one adjusting? Why does no one think about me?" And almost immediately, she would push that thought away. "It's okay, this is normal." But deep down, she knew it wasn't. And then one evening, something shifted. It wasn't a big moment. Nothing dramatic happened, just something real. She had a long day, work was hectic. She hadn't rested at all. All she wanted was a little quiet time. And then her phone rang. A friend. "Hey, Meera, I need your help with something urgent." For a second, she paused, a real pause, and in that pause, her honest thought came out. "I really can't do this today." But the next second, habit took over. "Okay." And that night, while she was doing something she didn't even have the energy for, something inside her became clear. It wasn't anger, it wasn't sadness, it was realization. She thought, "No one forced me." I said yes. That thought stayed, it didn't leave. That night, she kept turning it over in her mind. Why do I do this? Why can't I just say no? And slowly, she understood something she had never really fully accepted before. It wasn't just kindness, it was fear, fear of disappointing people, fear of being judged, fear of being seen as selfish. And in trying to avoid all that, she had slowly stopped listening to herself. The next day, everything outside was the same, same routine, same people, same expectations. But inside, something had shifted. At work, someone asked her to take on extra work. The old Mira would have said yes immediately, but this time she paused. Her heart was racing, her mind was full of questions. What if they think I'm rude? What if they don't like me? But still, she said, "I'm already handling a lot. I won't be able to take this right now." And then silence. She waited, almost expecting something to go wrong, but nothing happened. No one got angry. No one reacted badly. The moment just passed. And in that moment, she felt something she hadn't felt in a long time: relief. It felt strange, a little uncomfortable, but also right. That was her first no. After that, things didn't suddenly become easy. There were still moments when she said yes out of habit. There were still times when she felt guilty. But now she had started noticing, she had started asking herself, do I really want to do this? And sometimes the answer was no. And this time she allowed herself to say it. People noticed, some were okay with it, some were surprised, some even said, you have changed. And you know what? They were right, she had changed. But not into someone rude, not into someone distant, just into someone who finally started including herself in her own life. She still cared, she still helped, but she no longer ignored her own needs. And slowly, that constant tiredness reduced, that quiet frustration faded because she was no longer saying yes to everything. One day, she sat quietly and smiled to herself because she had finally understood something simple. Saying no doesn't make you a bad person, it just means you're being honest. And honestly, that changed everything. Do you also find it difficult to say no sometimes? Do you say yes even when you don't want to? And what is that one situation where you wish you had chosen yourself? If this felt close to your heart, tell me in the comments. And if you want more such stories, just write more stories. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Dear Listeners, because your support helps these stories reach people who might need them. I'll meet you again with another story. Till then, take care of yourself too.